the conventional is 24, so what are you saving? And like I said, I would definitely change the oil on especially a turbo vehicle at every three to 5,000 miles. You know, that's, and the people that do that, I've seen them cars last forever. You know, 200 plus thousand miles and that car is still going strong, opposed to, you know, listening to your manual that tells you to change it every 10,000 miles, and you have a twin turbo car on your motor that's putting that extra you know, wear and tear on the engine. And like I said, they're nice and you get great fuel economy because of the turbos, but, well, not because of the turbos, but because of the smaller engines. So, I don't know. It's a trade-off, I guess. Any way you look at it. And, like, it really doesn't determine what I buy from the auctions. It's just like I said, a personal kind of a preference. Like, some people like Chevys, so they lean more towards buying Chevys. But me, I guess I lean towards more, I guess I lean more towards, you know, Fords and stuff, but it doesn't really matter what it is to me, really. If it's got lower miles and it's nice and it's not all rusty and it runs good, I don't really care. I mean, there is some stuff I will stay away from totally, but for the most part, you know, as long as it's nice and like runs good, and they, you know, like I said, they got so many rules at the auction now. They won't let you bring scanners at some of them now, so I can't even hook up my scanner to check the codes. So now when you buy some with the engine light, you know, I used to just hook it up and see, oh, it's just an O2 sensor, oh, it's just something, you know, whatever, a small sensor or something, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You know why it's, you know, if it was running a little rough or something, you know why. And now you can't do that, and it's like they're already making a lot off the fees. The fees are crazy. It's like, at least, I mean, if you buy some for 3,000, say, expect to pay 4,000 minimum. You know, and that's, you have to get your plates and everything right away too when you buy it. So like, well, then in Minnesota you have to do everything right then. So you have to get tabs, plates, register, everything right then when you come to pick it up. So like I said, if it ends at like around 3,000, expect to probably pay a little over 4,000. And it's crazy, but you know, it's still, you know, worth it when you but like I said too, when you got people out of town and they don't go look at the stuff and then they buy it, it drives up the price, because they can, it could be a piece of junk, it could be not running right, they could have took the like, these people know how to take pictures of the car. So like, sometimes there'll be a angle where it doesn't look like it's dented that bad, and then you show up and it's dented horribly. Or like, the one I hate the most is when they show you the picture of the engine bay and they zoom way in, so they just show you like the middle, not the sides where the fenders line up and bolt and all the stuff on the that really matter, you know. So then, and then like I said, they'll show you a weird view, like that's a little more off and straightforward, so you can't see the top, or they know what they're doing. So And then the other thing too, like when you get in an accident, say you get in an accident today, that car isn't gonna go through the auction for 2-3 months. So that car is gonna be, dirty, dusty, have just a layer of dust on it because it's sat so long before it gets sold. So when you show up and it's clean and nice and all vacuum out and detailed and the outside's shining, and they do that, the insurance company or whoever puts it in the dealership, or even there's private party ones, which I try to stay away from, because why would you put your car in the auction? It's usually like a transmission or something majorly wrong, and they want to put it through the auction and clean and shine it up so good so it looks really nice. The rims are shining and they just buffed it up and all that, so when you're looking at it, you're like, oh my god, it's beautiful and well taken care of. Well, no, they just paid the auction a fee to detail and clean it up so it looks nice. Because like I said, when the car goes through the auction, they don't look nice. They're dirty, they've been sitting, that's what happens. They don't, so yeah, and then that's what they take the pictures, and they're really trying to sell the car off the pictures. So like they're hoping someone from Georgia or Texas or something buys a car. Well, I don't know why you'd buy a car from Minnesota, but I definitely wouldn't. If all you out of town buyers, I don't know if you know this, but we use salt and our stuff gets rusted. That's why out of state cars are at a premium here. So like when you look at a car and it's from out of state, like Arizona, Texas, anything like that, anything that doesn't see snow and salt is a premium here, because all our cars get rust. Yours brand new. I mean, I hate to say it, but Chevys are the worst. The Chevy pickups are the worst with the rust. You see one that's 2 years old and the box is rusted, the frame is rusted. It's nuts. It's really, it's horrible. So I don't know why people buy from, like, if I lived in a southern state, I definitely would not buy no cars from up north. None. It's not worth it. Even if it looks nice from the pictures, underneath it's gonna have rust, guaranteed, no matter how new it is. And like most people don't take care of their cars great. Like, there's certain people that, in the wintertime wash it once a week and get underneath, and, and that helps, and that makes it prolong, and makes it last longer. It prevents it from happening quicker. But it's still, eventually, if you drive the car in the winter, it's going to get rusty. Eventually. There's nothing you can do about it here. So when I'm bidding on a car and I see people bidding from, southern states on a car from here, I don't understand it. I mean, what happens is, like I said, the car could be running like poop, like not like, like it could be running horribly, or they took a weird shot of the motor and you didn't see all the sensors and all this stuff smashed, or the fender rails on the side of the car where the fenders bolt to are bent, or and then you get this car and then you got to pay for shipping. You got to ship this car, and then that's an extra $1,000 probably, well, 500 to 1,000 depending on how far away you are. So you buy a car you've never seen before, you pay someone 500, 1,000, and then it might get damaged on the transport too, because I've seen that. I've seen cars go cross country. One of my buddies bought like a brand new-ish Mustang GT from I think it was Nevada, and it had no hail. He had detailed pictures, and as detailed as you can get. And when you're buying a car from a dealership, you know, you expect them not to, you know, lie and stuff about what it is. So the car came and it had went through thunderstorms the whole way here. So by the time the car got here, it had hail damage everywhere. It fucking drove through thunderstorms and got hail. So now you know, you don't know what to do. Like it's you can't arbitrate it, or you can't arbitrate from dealership, but you can't really say nothing to the dealer because when they put it on, it wasn't hail damage, so they can't really, it's not their fault. And then the transporter is just driving, so I don't know. I think he's trying to go through the transport and people's insurance, but I doubt that's gonna work. Like I said, he's just doing his job. He's driving. And you know, that's why when you buy something and you have to have it trailered, you can pay for either an enclosed trailer, or you can pay for like just the open ones that you see, you know, everywhere, that, you know, are just open to the elements. You know, if it's thunderstorm, you might get hail damage. If it's snowing out or whatever, you know, I don't know. It's just, when you're buying something like that, when you're spending money on a car, I want to see it and I want to drive it myself. Like, my whole point to that whole spiel was that a lot can happen by the time if you're in, say, you know, Louisiana, and you buy a car from the auction right here, a lot can happen by the time by the time it loads up and by the time it gets to you. So like, not only are you gambling to buy it from the auction, like, because they might have just did really great pictures of that, and it might have made it look beautiful. They might have detailed it. The insurance company might have paid them the premium to clean up the tires and shine up the interior and all that. So when you're looking at it, you're saying, oh my God, this thing is, you know, beautiful, it's well taken care of, when really it's just an everyday car that just got washed and detailed. And then, like I said, the most important stuff like shifting and running, it might not do, because you never looked at it, you never sat in it. You know, and there's another thing too, smells. You know, oh my, like, there's been some cars that literally you cannot sit in because it is so foul smelling, and the heat, oh my Lord, it's like, it's a recipe for disaster. So like I'm saying, I mean, the smell thing isn't the worst thing in the world. You can get rid of it. Sometimes it's hard. You get like an O2 generator thing, or whatever, the air scrubber, but like I said, if you don't see the car, it sucks. It could be a piece of junk, and then you're bidding against me, and I know it's a piece of junk, but say, hey, it might be something that I can fix myself or clean up, or, you know, whatever, and it should be at a lower price because it's, you know, dirty, or a lot of stuff's messed up or broken, or it's smashed worse than, you know, what it looks like. So someone that goes and looks at it, it's only worth so much, but someone that's just looking at the pictures is going to bid up that car. Now that car goes up, you know, $1,000 extra bucks because someone didn't look at it, and I know it's not worth that much. And it's like, I don't know, I lose out on cars like that all the time from out of state, and I'm just not gonna go over but like what I think it's gonna be worth. I'm not trying to make you know, $1 million off of every car. You know, the profit margin after you buy the car, you pay the fees, you title it, you tab it, and you get everything detailed very nice and cleaned up, and everything, all the lights working and everything, you know, everything the way it should be. You know, that's money and time. And then like I said, the profit margin is so small that to gamble at looking at a car you've never seen isn't worth it. And then what happens too is they buy that car that they haven't seen, they realize it's a piece of junk, and then they don't want to put no money into it because it's a piece of junk, and then they sell it anyways to the public, and that's just what happens. That's, you know, they'll sell it for a really good price, they'll put it on their dealership, oh, great deal, whatever, you know, just got in or something, and, you know, sale today, you know, 4th of July sale, and it's just a junk car from the auction they don't want to fix and put any money into, so they're going to let it go for maybe, you know, a little bit more than what they paid for it, because I'll tell you what, the dealerships ain't losing money. Like, well, they might if they, you know, they have to auction it back. If they have to put it into the auction, they might lose money, but if they're selling the car to the public, they're not losing money. They're definitely making about probably 50%, and even if the car is junk, they usually upsell at at least 30%. So I'm not doing all that. I used to do it. I used to buy them sight unseen all the time, but it's a gamble. I can't do that no more. It's not worth it. It's literally a coin flip whether it's going to be a good car or not. And like I said, I went to and seen cars. They the nicest looking cars, and then when you get there, it's a piece of junk. You know, so yeah, it's definitely not a good idea to not see the car. You know, I don't know. I'm not trying to be sell parts and stuff, so like if the car's junk, some people, oh, you can part it out and make your money. Well, parting a car out takes a lot of time, and then you got, I live in Minneapolis, it's a city, and they're not going to have me taking a car apart in my driveway and leaving it sitting there half apart. I'm going to get neighbors calling on me, and it's just not going to work. So, like I said, I always try to like make sure the risk is as little as possible. You know, it's still a risk, for sure. Make sure the risk is as little as possible. You know, it's still a risk, for sure. It's still a risk. But it's less of a risk, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's pretty bad. And then like I said, with the way the auction is now, well, I don't know, I've never seen nowhere else, I've only seen it here, where you have to have a chaperone, they follow you around, and I don't know, it's gotten to be bad. And then, like, you know, every year the fees seem to go up and up and up and up, so it really hurts like people that are like me and just are, you know, I don't have a dealership or nothing like that. I just buy and sell cars, you know, do it, and I can't afford to keep spending more and more on the same kind of car. You know, like I said, you know, I'll go look at something and price it out where I can still give someone a good car and not charge all the price it out where I can still give someone a good car and not charge all the money, because cars are so expensive. $5,000, you'll read the ad and it'll say, oh, beautiful car, or looks nothing wrong, and then at the end it will say, oh, it just needs a transmission work, oh, it just needs a spark plug job or a tune-up. If you see a car listed on Marketplace or whatever and they say it needs a tune-up, do not buy that car. It doesn't need a tune-up. they are trying to pass off a car that it is not running right, and probably is misfiring, probably has a bad cylinder. It probably is a very expensive fix. It's not a simple spark plug, and I gotta shift this. It's hard to shift it. But man, it's beautiful out today. Wow, nice. It's been so hot here, like in Minnesota. It gets like 95 degrees and like 90% humidity, so it's like, oh, it's like walking into an oven. Like, it's, yeah. And then it makes, you know, it makes driving the slingshot not enjoyable because it's so dang hot. Like, you're sweating when you stop. When you stop, you just sweat, you know. So, well, actually, I'm driving by the other one. Oh, I might miss it. I gotta, hold on, I'm trying to get over. Maybe I got time to look at one more car at this other sublot. Oh, I had to shift it. Yeah, so here's the other one. I just was at the other location, and it's on the same road. There's three of them on the same exact road, so I'm trying to see if I can maybe go look at one more before they close it off, because they'll stop letting you see them at the auctions today, so they're gonna shut it off in a second, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Alright, there's just really one. Let's see if they'll let me. I'm sure they will. They're pretty nice people, actually. These ladies all, you know, are very nice, and well, most of them. Put my auction hat on, otherwise I'm gonna get sunburned. And then get my vest out. Get it out the trunk. And then I put this towel on my seat, because if I don't, the sun bakes and it'll be on fire. Right? You can't. I got the rooftop for the slingshot. I just haven't put it on yet. I've been so busy. I haven't put it on yet. I got a bunch of stuff I got for this thing. I got a big screen that I'm putting it in. Well, this screen's so little. It got reverse cam and everything, but I got a big screen I'm gonna put in it, and a bunch. I got the top for it. I got a bunch of stuff for it. Here, I'm going in there right now, so just bear with me.